All right, everyone, so this is the start of a new project where I'm going to be working through the freeCodeCamp curriculum. Now, as a bit of background, my younger brother, John, he's 10 years old. He knows that I'm a computer programmer and he wanted to learn how to code. So I told him I would help him work through the freeCodeCamp curriculum a little bit. Due to COVID-19 and the global pandemic, I haven't been able to get home as much as I wanted to. So what I decided to do instead of helping John in person was recording myself going through the freeCodeCamp curriculum, and hopefully that can help him get started and learn to code a little bit. I also thought I would just post this on YouTube, so if anyone gets stuck on freeCodeCamp, they can watch this and hopefully learn a thing or two as well. So it is February 14th, 2021. It's 9:56 in the morning. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. We're going to start by getting a freeCodeCamp account created. So when you go to sign up, now, just as a bit of background, this is if you go back one page, this is just freecodecamp.org. Go to the top right corner here and click sign in. Or sorry, we don't want sign in, we want sign up. Get started, it's free. This is the button we want. Now there's different ways to continue. Continue with Google, GitHub, Facebook, or email. I'm going to continue with email. So my email is nick@nickmccollum.com. Email me a short code to continue. I'm just going to go to my email real quick and grab this. Welcome to freeCodeCamp. Get your OTP, copy that, paste it here. Alright, so I think this will have created our account for us. So it says, please slow down and read this. freeCodeCamp is a proven path to your first software developer job. More than 40,000 people have gotten developer jobs after completing this, including at big companies like Google and Microsoft. If you are new to programming, we recommend you start at the beginning and earn these certifications in order. To earn each certification, build its 5 required projects and get all their tests to pass. You can add these certifications to your resume or LinkedIn, but more important than the certifications is the practice you get along the way. If you feel overwhelmed, that's normal. Programming is hard. Practice is the key. Practice, practice, practice. And this curriculum will give you thousands of hours of hands-on programming practice. If you want to learn more math and computer science theory, we have thousands of hours of video courses on freeCodeCamp's YouTube channel. If you want to get a developer job or freelance clients, programming skills will be just part of the puzzle. You will also need to build your personal network and your reputation as a developer. You can do this on Twitter and GitHub and also the freeCodeCamp forum. Happy coding! Alright, so now it asks you if you want to sign up for Quincy's email with 5 links about programming and computer science. So I'm going to say yes, and we are now ready to start coding. Alright, so we're going to start with this responsive web design certification. And it says you'll learn the languages that developers use to build web pages, HTML and CSS. First, you'll build a cat photo app to learn the basics of HTML and CSS, and later you'll learn modern techniques like CSS variables by building a penguin, and best practices for accessibility by building a web form. Finally, you'll learn how to make web pages that respond to different screen sizes by building a Twitter card with Flexbox and a complete blog layout with CSS Grid. Okay, let's get started. Say hello to HTML elements. Okay, so basically the way freeCodeCamp is set up, as you can see, it divides your web page into 3 panes. On the left pane, there's some instructions. In the middle pane, you have a code editor, and in the right pane, you have the output of your code editor. So, as example, if you change this hello to Nick McCollum, it'll change in the right pane as well. So we'll change that back to hello. Now, in this left pane, you'll see that there is kind of 2 sections. There's a section of instructions, like just general information about coding, and then there's a prompt here that you have to try to pass. Now, since I'm already a computer programmer, I usually will be somewhat familiar, at least I hope, with the instructional component of this, so I'm not going to be reading those out loud or anything. What I'll do instead is I will read the challenges, pass the challenges, and proceed to the next challenge. So it says, to pass the test on this challenge, change your H1 elements text to say hello world. So right now it just says hello, we will change it to world, and test it. Great, so submit and go to the next challenge. Sweet, so we are on challenge 2 now. And it says add an H2 tag that says cat photo app to create a second HTML element below your H1 element. So we'll do H2 cat photo app and then ending H2 tag. Now HTML tags, there's many different kinds. This is an H2 tag, and every HTML element has an opening element and a closing element like this. You can distinguish the closing element because of this / after the first open bracket, and opening tags do not have that /. So this should pass. Awesome. Submit and go to the next challenge. Now it says create a P element below your H2 element and give it the text hello paragraph. All right, so we'll go down here, P hello paragraph. /p. We'll test that. Great, we are making progress. We're 11% done, the first unit. Next it says, replace the text inside your p element with the first few words of this kitty ipsum text. All right, so we'll grab this, paste that in there, run the test, and that is complete. Awesome, we're making progress. Great, so now it's talking about commenting. Commenting is a way to include, excuse me, to include text in your code that doesn't actually change the functionality of that code. So in this example, I will uncomment this. Now, you'll notice I just highlighted all of it and then did something on my keyboard to comment and uncomment it. What I'm doing is I'm typing Control /. So that's kind of a common keyboard shortcut that will allow you to comment and uncomment things in code editors. The / is just to the left of the right shift key on your keyboard. So I uncommented that, run the test, and that is done. Now it says comment your h1 element and your p element, but not your h2 element. So what we need to do is, will this do the trick? No, that's not what we need to do. We need to add a --, and I think this will do it, not your h2 element. Yeah, there we go. All right, now it says our phone doesn't have much vertical space. Let's remove the unnecessary elements so we can start building our cat photo app. Delete your h1 element to simplify the view. Awesome. 25% done, baby. Now it says create a second p element after the existing p element with the following kitty ipsum text. Great. P. And that should be copied to my clipboard so I can just paste it in there. Then create a main element and nest the two p elements inside of the main element. Now, if you've never used a main element before, the main HTML5 tag helps search engines and other developments find the main content of your page. So that's usually what you nest your main content inside of, like this. Boom. All right, now we're going to add an image to our website. So within the existing main elements, insert an image element before the existing p element. So you can see they left us some space here, which is nice. So img, and img. Ooh, I just accidentally entered full screen. I think I'm going to leave it like this because this is quite nice. img, and set the source attribute so it points to this. So copy. Now src equals this. That's how you do that. And we needed to give it an alt attribute. So an alt attribute is just a bit of text inside of an image tag that tells search engines what the image actually contains. So here I'll just say cat. Awesome, that's done. We can move on to the next one. Now it says we're going to create a link to an external page with an anchor element. So it says create an A element that links to freecatphotoapp.com. So we'll copy this, and has cat photos as its anchor text. So they left us some space here to do this. So we will do an A tag. So an A tag is a link, and inside each link there's an attribute called the href attribute that looks like this, and this tells the link where to point to. So that's where we paste this, and then inside this we want to add the text. Oops. We want to add the text cat photos. Awesome. We are 36% done, and so far I haven't failed a test, which is very surprising because usually I am a pretty reckless developer, but we're getting there. Okay, so now this says, please become this monthly supporter of our non-for-profit. Now, I'm already a donor, excuse me, I'm already a donor to freeCodeCamp. I think they are probably one of the most capital efficient non-for-profits in the world, so I'm not going to fill out this form, but I will say if you're following the curriculum, if you're benefiting from this in any way, I would strongly recommend you sign up. This company or this non-for-profit is changing the world, and yeah, would strongly support anyone who, or would strongly recommend you consider donating just to kind of give back to all the amazing educational content they're creating. Okay, so moving on, you can see they kind of filled out our app with a lot more content now, and now we're going to link to internal sections of the page. So the way to do this is with one of those anchor tags that we had before, which looks like this, and we're going to say, it says change your external link to an internal link by changing the href attribute to #footer. So we're going to do hashtag footer. Oops, that's a $sign, not a hashtag. Like that. Now, if we go to this cat photos, it should take us down to the bottom, I think. Oof, what did that do? Oh, okay, let's just refresh the page. That is not what I wanted to do, but... Okay, remove the target equals blank attribute. So that is this. So what this target equals underscore blank attribute does is it causes the window, when you click it, to open up in a new tab instead of just directing the current window to the new page. And then we're going to add an ID attribute with a value of footer to the hashtag footer thing here. So ID equals footer. All right, so now if we run the test, this should, oh, we didn't change this to jump to bottom, so we got to do that right now. Jump to bottom. Great, so we are now 39% complete. We are getting there. Okay, now we're going to nest an anchor element within a paragraph. So nest the existing A element within a new P element. Okay, so we will put an open P tag there and a closing P tag there. It might make sense to put them on different lines like this just for readability. The new paragraph should have text that says view more cat photos, where cat photos is a link and the rest is plain text. Oh, okay, so we won't nest this separately. Then what we'll do is view more. So now if you look here, it says view more cat photos, and only the cat photos is the link because that's only the part that was inside this A tag. Okay, so we passed that test and we can continue. The current value of the href attribute is a link that points to freecatphotoapp.com. Replace the href attribute value with a hash, also known as a hash symbol, to create a dead link. Okay, so we're going to do this. Boom. Awesome, that was easy. 46% done. I'm going to say I'm not going to donate. All right, turn an image into a link. You can place the existing image element within the A anchor element. Okay, so where's the image element? That's right here. I will copy this, put it in here. Oh, within A, not within the. Okay, sorry. So we need to just nest this within an A element like this. Now if we mouse over this thing, it should have a click. Oh. So I need to, it says here, so I ran the test and it said your A element should be a dead link, so I need to add a dead link href equals hash, like this. So now if I mouse over this cat photo, it should have like a click icon. Yep, that looks good. All right, let's proceed. We are we're 50% done, let's go. Okay, so this gives you some introduction to the syntax around unordered list. So an unordered list is just like a list of bullets. So we'll see what that looks like in a second when we build it, but this is kind of the syntax. You start with a UL tag, you end with an UL closing tag, and then within those you have these LI tags. So this stands for unordered list, and this is a list item within that unordered list. So now it says remove the last two P elements, okay? Remove those, and create an unordered list of 3 things that cats love at the bottom of the page. So you start an unordered list with a UL tag, you end an unordered list with a closing UL tag like that, and then within we need 3 LI items. So those look like this. I will just copy that 3 times, and then we need 3 things cats love. So I'll say milk, I'll say scratches, and I will say catnip. Great, so you can see, I'm just going to close this without proceeding. You see, this is what an unordered list looks like. It's bullets, it's not numbers. Okay, so let's proceed. All right, so now it says create an ordered list of the top 3 things cats hate the most. So you can see it wants us to put it below this tag here. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this because that kind of gives us the broad syntax. Now, an ordered list is a OL tag like that. So you see as soon as I change that, it turns into, over here on the right, it turns into numbers instead of bullets. Now we want things that cats hate, so I will say water, I will say loud noises, and I will say hungry dogs, I guess, I don't know. Great, so I passed that test. We're 57% done now. Now it wants us to create a web form. Now a web form is something you can fill out on a website to pass information to the website itself. So to do that, we will create an input element of type text. So that looks like this. And it says to place it below the list. So I'll just copy that, put that here. And you see a form should pop up here, a really basic form with just one field. It's not labeled or anything, so this is pretty impractical. Like a real web form would never look like this, but I imagine what we're going to do now is slowly build it up step by step over the next few challenges. So let's see if this passes. Yep, that's good. Now it says set the placeholder value of your text input to cat photo URL. So here we just want to put a placeholder equals cat photo URL like that. And now it should pop up in there. Perfect. That is awesome. We are 64% done now. Now it says nest the existing input element inside a form element and assign HTTPS freeCat photo to the action attribute of the form element. So we're going to copy that. We're going to nest this inside of a form element. We need the closing tag down here. And then assign to the action attribute of the form. So action equals this. All right, how does this look? Great, so we are 68% done. Now it says add a submit button. So add a button as the last element of your form element with a type of submit and submit as its text. Okay, so we're going to do button type equals submit.
All right, looking for paired devices.
Oh, my Google Home just kind of activated for some reason. I think this will do it. There we go. Let's run this test and see if it works.
I can't connect to Bluetooth. Please try again later or connect via the Bluetooth settings page for your device.
All right, so the next challenge says make your text input a required field so that your user can't submit the form without completing this field. Then try to submit the form without inputting any text. See how your HTML5 notifies that your field is required. So right now, if there's nothing in there, you can hit submit, and it doesn't stop you, and it says, we are all viewers, submitted a response and reply to blah, blah, blah. So if we refresh now, we should get our page here, which is good. And then what we want to do now is, for this input type, we want to say, I think we just do required, like this. Yeah, that looks good. Now if we hit submit, yeah, please fill in this field because it's required. So this should pass the challenge. That's good. We are 75% done, which is exciting. Now it says create a set of radio buttons. A radio button is a type where you have like something inside a form where you have a field that only has, like, it's basically like a multiple choice question. So it allows you to click from a few certain options. So we're going to add a pair of radio buttons to the form now. And how we do that is kind of described here. It's been a while since I made one of these. So we want I'm going to copy this and just see what comes out. There we go. Okay, so now it says one should have the option of indoor and the other should have the option of outdoor. So we're going to copy this again. Change this to outdoor. 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 All right, let's see if I pass this test. Your radio button should be given the name attribute of indoor, outdoor. Oh, this should be indoor. There we go. We are 79% done. Let's go. Add to your form a set of 3 checkboxes. Each checkbox should be nested within its own label element. All 3 should share the name attribute of personality. Okay, so I will put these right above the submit button. And like I said, they should each have their own label. So it wants 3 of them. Oops. should show the name attribute of personality. Okay, so we'll say name equals personality. And get rid of that backslash. Here we want 3 personality types, I guess. I'll say loving, I will say caring, and I will say patient. And then we need I did this wrong. I have to fix it now. So now we need an input here. And this input is where this name should go. So now I can copy this. And this name needs to go. This extra space needs to go. This name attribute needs to go. Okay, and then I need to add this type equals checkbox flag to each input, like this. There we go, that looks better. So now you can kind of click these like that and kind of fill them out, submit the form. Let's test this and see if I actually did it right. Let's go. So now it said, give each of the radio and checkbox inputs the value attribute. Use the input label text in lowercase as the value for the attribute. So, so this should be value equals indoor. And then I will copy this and just change the text for each one. Value equals outdoor. Value equals loving. Value equals lazy. Value equals energetic. And there we go. That was easy. Alright, you can set a checkbox or a radio button to be checked by default using the checked attribute. To do this, just add the word checked to the inside of an input element, for example. Now it says set the first of your radio buttons and the first of your checkboxes to both be checked by default. Okay, so we want this to be checked. Okay, you can see that automatically filled in, so that's good. And then for loving, which is right here, we also want to add checked. Sweet. We're looking good. We are now 89% done. Okay, now we're going to nest things inside of a div. So I'm just going to read this one because divs are important. The div element, also known as a division element, is a general purpose container for other elements. The div element is probably the most commonly used HTML element of all. Just like any other non-self-closing element, you can open a div element with the div tag and close it another line with the closing div tag. Alright, now it says nest your things cat love and top 3 things cats hate lists all within a single div element. So these are here. So I'll put a div here, open div tag, and I'll put the closing div tag here. Awesome, so now we are 93% done. I think we probably have 2 more challenges left. Now this is how to declare the doc type of an HTML document. I'll read this one too because this is important. The challenges so far have covered specific HTML elements and their uses. However, there are a few elements that give overall structure to your page and should be included in every HTML document. At the top of your document, you need to tell the browser which version of HTML your page is using. HTML is an evolving language and is updated regularly. Most major browsers support the latest specification, which is HTML5. However, older web pages may use previous versions of the language. You tell the browser this information by adding the doc type tag on the first line where the ... part is the version of the HTML. For HTML5, you use doc type HTML. The exclamation mark in uppercase doc type is important, especially for older browsers. The HTML is not case sensitive. Next, the rest of your HTML code needs to be wrapped in HTML tags. The opening HTML goes directly below the doc type and the closing HTML goes at the end of the page. Here's an example of the page structure. Your HTML code will go in the space between the 2 HTML tags, so that's right here. Now it says add a doc type tag for HTML at the top of the HTML document in the code editor. Under it, add opening and closing HTML tags which wrap around an H1 element. The heading can include any text. Alright, so I'll put this in and then we just need to add the H1 tag that says, let's go. Awesome, challenge destroyed, 96% done. All right, now it says define the head and body of an HTML document. So you can see here, this is kind of the general structure of an HTML page. You have the top HTML tag, and then you have this head section. This head section doesn't usually render, but it has information that search engines use to rank the page properly in search. And then you have the body section, which has information about the actual page, so like the content and whatnot. So now it says edit the markup, so there's a head and a body. So here we want to put the head, and you'll notice here in the challenge it says the head element should include only the title and the body element should include the H1 and the P. So we will put the closing head tag here, and then we will say body, and the closing body tag should go here. And with that, I think we just finished Basic HTML and HTML5. Let's go! All right. So now we are on to Basic CSS. So I'm going to end this video here and start Basic CSS in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the free CodeCamp curriculum. Thanks.